donor egg and donor sperm. This both is a very tricky topic, and people think that whenever they are told this, that look, they need a donor, they think always it is better that we bring our own relative. They feel that their genes will be preserved, their looks will be same. They have got n number of things to substantiate it that why they should bring their own donors. And secondly, the financial remuneration also will come down. But frankly speaking, the government has laid down the guidelines, and the government says it that all the donors, where there be sperm donors or egg donors, have to be double blind. Means neither the donor should know whom they are donating, neither the recipient should know whom they have taken the gametes from. So now this is the government guideline, and truly speaking, legally and psychologically, it is a good thing that government has made. Because if you think about the legal angle, the child is very small. Maybe the donor has this child of one sex only, and the recipient's child is born of the other sex. Then it is but obvious that the donor might have an attachment to that child, or that child which the recipient has born, that child is doing much better than the child of the donor. Then also the same thing will happen. So it is always better that you don't know it, because legally there will be no complications. If any day the recipient who has donated the eggs, that person comes and tells the recipient's child that look, it is my egg, they can always get a DNA done and get it substantiated. Then the child who is growing, who is at a very naive age, at a very young age, the whole personality of the child will get distorted. So we should just abstain from this practice. Secondly, psychologically also, if you know the donor, always you will try to judge the child according to that. Whenever you are upbringing the child, because you are the parents of the child, there should not be any confusion when you are parenting the child. There should not be any idol in your mind from which you can compare the child. So it is always better if you don't know the donor. The donor can also follow you, so the donor should also not know whether they have donated the egg or the sperm. So it is always a good practice that the donor egg or the donor sperm is not known. It should be double blind. If you want, the surrogate mother can be your relative doing surrogacy, because in surrogacy the DNA of the child doesn't match with the surrogate mother. So obviously there is not so much bonding. Obviously there is some bonding because she has obviously borne the child for 9 months, but it is not the DNA that is matching. But in the case of donor, the DNA is matching. So everybody should take precautions and should be aware of all this financial, this legal and this psychological aspect also of the infertility treatment whenever we are going for a third party reproduction. We care about you.